Right, so now we're in chapter 2. Alright, so now we're going to talk a little bit about the periodic table and elements. So the periodic table is a tool that chemists use for a lot of things. First of all, it contains all the known elements. But there's also, as we'll see going forward, a lot of information in the periodic table. Just a simple periodic table has a lot of information in it. That once you study chemistry a little bit, you'll kind of see it. All right, so typical periodic table is the one we see in front of us. It's got a certain shape, and we'll discuss that here in a little bit. One thing we need to notice is that this group on the bottom here actually is supposed to fit up here. We take those two rows out and put it below to make the periodic table actually fit on a piece of paper nicely or on a poster nicely. But in reality, the periodic table should look like this, where that set of elements fits right here. Okay, we take those out simply to make it so it fits on a piece of paper and we can read it and all of that. Second thing to notice about the periodic table is that it contains all the elements we know. So all matter is made of elements, and all matter is made of only these elements. Okay, right now we are at element 118. That's the highest numbered element we have. We could find new ones going forward because a lot of these higher numbered elements are actually just made in a lab. Well, actually a collider. They don't exist for very long. They're not found in the Earth's crust or anything like that. They're all man-made. So we could find a new one going forward, and a new one would have to go down in a new row. All right. I posted this version of the periodic table so you have it. The green highlighted elements are the ones you need to know. So you need to know those elements with their symbols. So if I say iron, you should know its symbol is Fe. If I say tin, you should know it's Sn. If I say sodium, you should know it's Na. Oxygen, O, and so on. Okay, and it should be almost instantaneous. You have to know them very well. We've chosen those elements because they are very prevalent in both life and in common things. I chose some of these because they're important in the medical field. But there's this table, and then I've also just posted a list of elements with symbols. So you need to know the element with its symbol. And spelling's important, right? So if you can't spell it right, it's wrong. The last thing about this section is your body is mainly hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, calcium, and phosphorus. Okay, there are some other elements there, but those are the primary 5 elements. Calcium makes up a lot of your bones. Your body's a lot of water, which is just oxygen and hydrogen. Phosphorus occurs in your DNA. Carbon basically occurs in everything. All the proteins, sugars, peptides, amino acids, it's in everything. So basically any structure in your body, in your skin, all your organs have carbon in it. Right? And then there's some others that are important but are in a less percentage. For example, iron or sodium or potassium, nitrogen. All those are also components of your body. Iodine. Tons of other elements that are really important in very small amounts. Also play a big role in the human body and its function. But the 5 that I listed are the primary components of the body. Okay. The last thing here I did was put a little bit of practice here for you, for you to go between symbol and element. We'll pause here in a second, but a couple things I want to note. One is that you can see that the elements are not capitalized. They are not proper nouns, so don't capitalize the names of elements. Second is that the symbol is either one or two letters. If it's only one letter, it's a capital letter. And if it's two letters, it's a capital letter followed by a lowercase letter. Okay. That being said, make sure you're using capital letters and lowercase letters. Okay. I'm guilty of this. I like to write in all capital letters, making my lowercase letters just capital, right? So like I might write tin as SN, which is wrong because that's not a lowercase n. That's a capital N written smaller. That doesn't work. Okay. So if you're going to write tin, capital S, lowercase n. Okay. Another one I see a lot is capital N's as just big lowercase n's. Like people write Na for sodium. That's not good. That's still not a capital N because we made it bigger. Okay. Capital N looks like that. So if you're one of those people that like to write in all capitals or like to make capital letters out of lowercase letters by making them bigger, don't do that for the elements. Okay. Elements are capital letter by itself or capital letter with a lowercase letter. All right. That being said, pause for a minute and practice these, and then we'll come back. All right. Now that you're back, hopefully you've run through a lot of these. What we're going to see is some of these elements, the elements and the symbols don't make a lot of sense unless you've taken Latin. So iron is Fe. And the Latin word for iron is ferrum. So that's where that comes from. Gold is the same thing. Gold symbol is Au. And that's because the Latin word for gold is aurum. N is nitrogen. Okay. Sn is tin. B is boron. C is carbon. S, a lot of people spell wrong. It's S-U-L-F-U-R, not E-R, it's U-R. Arsenic, which I put in here because it's a trace metal that is poisonous, so it occurs in groundwater sometimes, which is bad. Silicon is Si. Ti is titanium. I included that because we use a lot of titanium because it's strong and light for replacement parts in humans, like ball and sockets and things like that. P is phosphorus. That's another one that's often spelled wrong because we're used to us at the end of the words being O-U-S, and for phosphorus it's just U-S. Okay, neon is Ne. Fluorine, again, another one that's spelled wrong quite a bit. It's F-L-U-O-R-I-N-E, fluorine, and it's not F-L-O-U-R, which is flour. It's not fluorine, it's fluorine. Okay, sodium is Na. Aluminum is Al. Ag is argentum, which is silver. Kr is krypton. Not kryptonite, simply krypton. Potassium is K. Cl is chlorine. And iodine is I. Right? So whatever it takes for you to memorize the list I gave you, you need to do that. Take a few minutes out of your day, learn 5 of them for the next 7 or 8 days, and you'll get them all done. Right?